moment. I was actually sitting and creating your assessment only. That's why I got a little late also. Thought process was going on. I was like, okay, let me wait for 1-2 minutes and then I'll finish off. What did we do last time? Let's quickly recap. After weekend, we are meeting. So let's quickly recap what we had finished. We worked on pivots, and in pivots also we learned how to make basic summaries. Then we worked on grouping of in the pivot table. We learned how to do calculated field and show value as. Okay, and before that we have finished everything that you possibly use in a daily routine in just turning the data and creating reports of the data in before this part where we were working on ranges and active cells and cells. So all that has been done. Today I want to talk about very interesting thing which kind of helps to reduce our work quite a bit, and that is called functions. It really helps to reduce your workload. So the functions that we are talking about, these are called user-defined functions. Okay, and very popularly in the industry known as UDFs. So what are UDFs, or the user-defined functions? Excel itself has a lot of functions in it. Now, sometimes it may be based on what your industry, which industry you're working in, what kind of data manipulation you do. It may be that there is no function that is already available in Excel. That functionality is missing. So we are either doing the work manually, or we are writing longer formulas or doing a longer process and then finding out that one single answer that we require. So rather than doing it again and again manually, we convert the entire process into a function so that we may give some input to our function, and ultimately when the processing is done, it returns a value to us. So that's another thing, that if I ask what's the difference between a sub and a function, the main characteristic of a sub function is that it returns a value. Not all the functions, because a lot of time I feel that people think function means calculation. Not all the functions you know of requires calculation. Simple example, VLOOKUP. Is there any calculation involved?
No, just
No.
a value.
No value.
It returns
It's a process,
value.
right? No, it's a
Right.
process. You're not calculating. You are taking a value, you're searching for a value. When you find it, you go to a certain column, extract the value. It's a process.
Right.
Sorting is a process. Filtering is a process. But in that, you get returned a table. But when you use VLOOKUP, you're getting returned a value. So any process that ends up in a one single value as an output, that is going to be defined as a function. Okay. Now, how do you write a function? Like we had a way of writing a sub. How do you write a function? You write the keyword function followed by the name of the function that you would like to see in the front end. So I'm just giving an example of something that we just spoke about. Let's say we wanted to create a function called VLOOKUP in the backend. So it becomes function VLOOKUP. In the bracket, you will give the arguments along with the data type. So first argument that we have is a lookup value.
Yes.
As what?
Uh,
What is the data type of the lookup value we have?
Table or array. Oh, sorry.
You didn't pick.
Array.
What is it?
Cell.
Yeah, but what is there in the cell? String.
Okay.
Is it always string?
No, it's sometimes it's number.
It could be date, it could be time, it would be variant.
Yeah.
The data type in it is variant. See, I think what you're confusing with Faisal is when you work in your Excel functions, you want to select the cells. And I think that's what is causing confusion. And you're saying range and cells. But what a function is working with is it's picking the value from it and then using it. So obviously in functions, you are going to refer to the cells, but it doesn't mean that their data type is a range. All right. Then we have a table array. What is there in table array? Table array as
As a range.
Range.
As a range. Now it is as a range. Correct. Then is column index number as
0 and 1. Yes. No. That is
True,
that
false.
is your
Column.
boolean.
Boolean.
So this
True,
is,
false.
we can put it as byte.
but
Right.
Typically it has to be an even number, right? A long, we don't have so many columns, so I think byte is very safe. It cannot be negative. And then we have a last format which is optional. So how do you make it optional? You write the keyword optional followed by the range lookup, and this is as
Boolean.
boolean. This is a
True or
boolean.
false.
True or
True or false. And when we close a bracket, again we have to give another data type, which is the data type of the final output. Like if you think about the function len, it takes an input of a string, but does it return a string? It returns numbers, right? So it may be that my input is of a different data type and my output is a different data type. Over here itself, we have variant, we have range, we have byte, we have boolean. So we also need to define what is the output we are expecting. And that would be
variant.
a
Variant.
variant. Very good. So this is a variant. So as soon as I do this and I press enter, automatically end function comes in. Just like how we had sub and end sub, we have function and end function.
Okay. Kishan, can you explain this column index?
Column index. Oh, column
Is that-
index number. Remember, it was the column number of the table array from where we were extracting the value.
Yeah.
So that
But
was a
you-
number, right? Positive number that we had to give.
Okay.
So that's why I took it as a byte.
Okay. You
And
said
then-
it has to be an even number.
No, not even.
Okay. Okay. It has
And-
to be a number, right?
It has to be a number, right?
And in optional, we have in last we have 0 and 1. That is
Correct. Boolean. True or false? 0, 1. That falls
Okay.
into Boolean.
okay.
And it's optional. Okay. Now, few things that you have to keep in mind. First of all, you can't run a function. We use it in Excel cells. Just like how you use a normal function of Excel, you go to Excel, you put equal to, type in the name, it comes in the list, you pick it up and use it. Same way we are going to treat our UDS also. Number 2, write them in module, and I'll tell you why it is important, because you don't want to create a function that is specific to one workbook. You want to create a function which is applicable to your entire Excel. So write them in a module. Number 3, the arguments defined on top can be used as variables in program. So we don't have to again sit and define more variables. Lookup value is also already predefined, table array is predefined, column index now all defined in the top, so I can directly use these names. And the very important part is, very, very important, the output of the function should be stored in the name of the function. Whatever is the output, it has to be stored in the name of the function, and no input box and message box would be there. Because the input is also from user, from Excel, output is also in Excel. Yeah. Okay, did you guys think of any functions that we are creating today?
Ishani, can you elaborate on third and fourth point?
Third and fourth point, yes. Through example, I'll elaborate.
Okay.
So that's why I need an example from you guys.
It's always been a desire to develop a VLOOKUP that selects a value from the left, not from the right. Can we do that?
That selects from left.
Yeah. From VLOOKUP always goes from left to right, right? Pickups the value from left to right. Can we develop a VLOOKUP that goes from right to left? Pickups the value from right to left?
So you want the last column to be the column where it searches, and then go on the left hand side. Column index should work in a negative direction and pick up the
Yes,
value.
yes. Yes.
Okay. Always been a desire. All right.
I
Okay.
know index is there, but we have a likeness to VLOOKUP.
Okay.
Since
All right. Suits everyone? Should we create it?
Yes.
Yes. All right. What do you want to call it, Faisal, since this is your function?
jumbo lookup,
Who? Jumbo?
jumbo lookup.
A strange lookup.
Jumbo lookup. What are the inputs we are expecting as a part of this jumbo lookup? Same?
Yeah, same.
Okay, but I will not pick up this optional because there's more programming involved. Let's just do with the exact match kind of a thing. Okay, so we are expecting an exact match only to happen, not an approximation through this, and close the bracket as now this can. Okay, let it be byte only, and this is going to be variant. So now whatever thought process or logic we were using in our subs is the same thought process we are going to use in functions also. So take a minute, take minute, 2 minute. I'm also going to think, how would you write the program for this? So Faisal, to be clear, we are saying whatever is our table array, our lookup value will always be seen in the last column of the table array, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Take a couple of minutes to think how will we achieve this. Why everybody is in love with VLOOKUP? You know, the batch I took on the weekend, they made me write VLOOKUP with nth occurrence extraction. Like I tell my VLOOKUP, this is the value, and find me the fifth occurrence and extract the value. And today you're giving left, right to left. Mm,
I think need one extra input which is
Oh.
defined in our
which input?
I think match function for match function, because match is needed, no?
Match you can include as a part of your program only. There are two ways you can do it. Either you are getting a column index number from the user and just putting the column index number over here. Let's do it that way right now, because otherwise we'll spend 1 hour only on this program. What is the thought process? So first point is a table is there and I want to go to the last column and search. So searching is not a difficult part. We can go one by one and search in the cells. Wherever I find a match of my the column values and that is equal to lookup value, means that is the row I have to stay in, and I need to offset in minus direction and pick up and extract the point, the value. But how would you know which is the last column of your table array? How do you know how many columns a person has picked up? Columns dot count. So table, the range that you have, range dot columns dot count, is that? So table array in our case, table array columns dot count. Okay. So let's try to do it. And once we are there, so we can do it. Okay. So what I want to do is, so table array, like you were saying, what is the third point? The arguments defined on the top can be used as a variable in the program. Where is the range on which I'm going to work? It is already defined as a table array, right? So if I want to refer to the table array, what variable I'll use table array only. So table array columns doesn't come up. Table array, on a table, can you have this columns? It's not coming up. Would it work, Gundan? Column. Oh, column, sorry. I spelled it wrong, it seems. Dot count. Okay, tables arrays column dot count. So that tells us as, and we can store it as last column as integer. And this is my last column. All right, so I've stored the last column. Now, once I know the last column, how do I work now? Have we done this loop for each?
No.
No,
For each.
Yes, I know.
Ishani, since
No.
this is a number,
Who
so
need it?
yes,
Huh?
we need it. Just can't we put down the column index if position of column index will be the count, right? Suppose there are
Position
five
of
column, there are five
Hmm.
column. We want to return the third column, so we have the
Huh?
count of 5. So the input of column index is 3. Any value in the third column will be our return value, matching that lookup value.
Yeah, that's so no. Say that again. What did I miss?
The last column value, suppose fetches 5 as a value.
Fifth row.
Total count is 5. The table
Last
it is
column.
count,
Total
no, it
column
is
is
counting
5.
the total columns. How
Okay.
many columns are there in a table array?
All right.
And our question was we have to return any value which is in the nth column. We have already provided which
Yeah.
nth
So
column we are
column
talking
index
about.
number would be that.
Yes, so we will fetch the record of a specific column which has been described in the call index argument, right?
Uh-huh. So you're saying we are not going to put a number, you want a header name.
Not basically, if we work upon returning the value from a particular position,
Mm-hmm.
then we would be able to solve this question.
Oh, let's just sketch it out. Sorry,
Yes.
my thoughts are always through
No.
writing. Can't think a lot by verbal. So we are saying there is a
Can't
table.
we use range here? If we
We-
can
We
range.
will range will use. Range is this table array only, right? Table array is defined as range. So when you refer to the word table array, it's a range you're referring to.
So we can put the first number as a 1 and last number as count, column count number.
But I don't have to see. That's why we need to sketch. So let's say this is our table, right?
Yes.
This is my table. We are saying our lookup value is going to be over here.
Okay.
And
So
then we
counting
are
on the number of the
searching over
column.
here. So you
Yep.
counted the number of column, you got this. What is this column all about?
Yes.
Then in this column, I have to go from one row to the next row to the next row.
That's the row wise. From moving to column, we can use the offset function and then offset to the row.
I don't have to offset here, right? First, what I have to do, I have to figure out a mechanism of moving in the rows. So let others also tell me. Once I figured out, okay, this is column number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a sixth column. Okay. How will I go from first row to the last row? One by one. And while I'm going one by one down, I want to check whether it's equal to my lookup value or not. How will I go from the first to the last row?
Double nested
From-
row.
For
So if you, just like how you found your columns, if you also find the number of rows,
Yes. And
Yes,
then
then we
put up a
can
range array.
refer.
then you can use a for loop. So once you created a for loop, let's say you found the value over here. Now you have been given a column index number. Now column index number, again, Faisal, how are we taking it? Left to right, right to left?
it
Does
will be
it really matter? Because
Yeah, it matters. Are you counting the third column? It matters. Left, right, right, left.
right to left.
Everything is right to left. Okay, so you are saying from here, give me, let's say, the third column.
Yes.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3. In fact, I overshot this column. 1, 2, 3 happens to be this column. Okay, so if I've already found this position, how will I now get to this position?
Offset.
Offset. How much offset I have to do? -2.
-2.
So basically,
-2.
whatever is your column index number, -1 will be my offset. and I have to put a minus sign to make it a negative offset, correct? And whatever is that value, I can return it. All right.
Mhm.
Thought process. is at
Why
least
column 1? Why not
column
two?
minus 1? No. So let's say I say go offset by, I say column index or column index number is 3. But this is the column 1 for your table array, right? Where did it go?
Yeah.
This is column
Okay.
1, this is column 2, this is column 3. So offsetting
Okay.
you are doing only by 2.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay.
Yeah.
Now let's start. So just like you had the last column, you want row numbers. And we can say table array, table underscore array dot rows dot count. So we'll start by, let's say for loop, we can put I as integer. All right. So for I is equal to 1 to what? The row number. Because I know so many number of rows are there that I have to go through. Now, how will you access each and every cell one by one?
Cells.
Cells. And referring to what? Table array.
Right.
So I don't have to worry where it is in the Excel sheet, nothing. I'll say array dot cells. Remember, we had cells 1, 1, which meant the first cell, first row and first column of that.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
row number would be I, because I want to go to the first row, then second row, then third row. But the column index number would remain the same in this case. And that is your last
Row.
one. I
Shani,
want
first,
to,
sorry to interrupt. First, we do not have to go to last column.
we have to, right? That's where we are searching. The search he wants to reverse. Faisal says, I don't want to search in the left column. I want to search in the rightmost column.
Right. But in this, we have gone to the row. First, we have to go to the last column, then onto the row.
So last column, how will we reach? We have already figured out which is the last column.
Right.
Right. So that's I'm putting over here. Let's say it gives me 5. So this becomes I comma 5. So I know I'm going to work in the fixed column. So that's why this is not a variable.
Okay.
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 So we are going to check that if this table array cells this is equal to what?
Lookup value.
It's very good, Pratibha. Equal to lookup value. Then what should I do? So when I said you are supposed to use argument defined on the top as variable, this is what I meant. I'm using lookup value, table array, and then working. If it is true, then what?
Then offset
We
variable.
store in the function name.
We'll store in the function name because we want that as a output. So jumbo underscore lookup is equal to your table underscore array dot cells I comma last column close bracket dot value. Correct? Oh no, offset and whatever is our minus of my column index minus 1 close bracket and offsetting 0 in terms of row, so that will be 0 comma this. Is this part clear what I've written?
Yes.
Ishani, you said you will offset -2.
Minus 1. Because if somebody tells the column index number is 3, so I'm already on the first column, I need to offset by 2 more to reach the third column of my
Yeah.
table. So minus 1. Only subtracting for the first position,
Okay.
first column. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. If this is true, good. And what do you want to do after this? And if one more thing we need to do over here, right? Next now this program, once you find it, do you still want it to keep on going in and back and forth, back and forth? Let's say you found the value, it is equal to it, you went and you extracted and you gave it to the function. Then you want it essentially to finish off, right?
Yeah, right.
Yes.
So what would you write?
Exit function, something.
Is there
Do we
exit
have this?
function? I don't know. Yes, we have exit function. Good. So
Wow.
we have the exit function. And another issue is if a person has gone through all the for loop and still was not able to find anything, what is the output that you wanted to have?
Then message box, no value found.
So no message box. So again,
No
in the
message
name
box.
of your
box.
function,
Yeah, sorry.
again in the
And
where did I go? Again in the name of the function, you would say NA or not available. Correct? Looks fine. Let's see now. I'm not pasting, I'm copying Control Z. Okay. So let's say our lookup value is a date. And I want to get, so lookup value is this date. And column index number is, which column do we want it from? We want it from, let's say, customer. So column index number is 3. And anything else we need to give? Table array way to pick. Okay, let's experiment if this is working or not. So we will use it just like a function of Excel. So what do you do when you write functions in Excel? You start with an equal to sign. So we start with an equal to sign. Name of the function. Now you see jumbo lookup is there. Jumbo
Okay.
lookup is there. This is coming because you've written it in a module. If you did not write in module, you would not see this. Unfortunate part, the syntax doesn't show up over here. But if you go to your function, I'll show you where it is, then you can see the syntax also. So what was the first thing? Lookup value. Second thing, table array, comma, your column index number, and that's it, correct? Did we get the value? It is not available, so it didn't work because it is available. What went wrong? One thing I would want to check if my row and column numbers are getting picked correctly or not. Control Z. I'm just checking if it's working or not. So it says 5 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Correct. And my row is getting picked up nicely or not. Row underscore num. Row number is 11. This is wrong. Why is row number coming? Oh, total of 11 rows. This is correct, right? 11 rows I have. Yes, total of 11 rows I have, and this is correct. So for is equal to, this is working. Now let's figure out what went wrong. For I is equal to row number, we are saying if the table array cell, first comes the row, then comes the column. So I becomes 1. Last column is fixed, which is 5, is equal to lookup value. If it is, then we want the jumbo lookup to go to table array, cell, that particular row and a column, offset by 0, comma, minus whatever is the column index number, minus 1. And since I want to go left, dot this. I can't find a mistake.
So Isani, I think it's a header name, no?
Ishani, is the variable are case sensitive? The declared variables.
No, they change the
No.
case themselves.
Ishani, I think
Okay,
if
okay, hold on. Why did you say,
Okay.
oh, thank you? It's not, thank you for pointing
Oh,
it out. It's
yeah,
not case
it's-
sensitive, my spelling mistake is there.
Spelling mistake was
That's
there.
why the case did not match up. Hold on, very good eye, Pratibha. Oh, please work. Yes, done. Okay. So Faisal, I just charge $500 per half an hour. Here's your work. All right. So good, Pratibha, you found that, and because of which I got to know why you asking about case means the case did not match, and it was a spelling mistake, which are always tough to catch.
Yeah.
Good job.
Savior.
Very, very tough to catch the spelling
Never
mistake.
seen also.
All right. So this is how you use a function. Now, one thing before we move on, these functions, now if I create a new workbook and I try to use this function, say equal to Jumbo, is it coming up?
No.
It is
No.
not coming up. So what we need to do is we need to convert these functions into an add-in of an Excel. And how do you convert them into add-in of Excel? Very simple. Do a save as. And where you have the macro file, you will also get a tab called somewhere down, Excel add-in, say Excel add-in.xlam, which is your solver also. So click over here. As soon as you click over here, you will see it automatically changes the path of where it is storing. It will go to the app data in Microsoft Office in add-in folder and ask you to save it. Now, when you're saving any add-in, I would always advise give a proper name so that you know what your add-in does. Over here, we are doing that Jumbo lookup. I can type it today. And press save. Now that it is saved, let's open a fresh workbook. Again, you will see if I type in equal to this, it won't come up. So what we need to do, we have created an add-in. Now we want to activate the add-in. So we'll go to account. No, sorry, more options. Go to add-ins. The add-in that you created, if you allowed the Excel to save at the right place, should be in your inactive list. So you see Jumbo lookup over here. Go to go in manage and check box in front of your Jumbo lookup. And then click OK. And now it is activated. Now you can easily use it in any of the workbook. So you created a new function for your Excel application.
Okay.
Any questions?
No.
No? No questions from anyone?
Can we you were saying that we can extract the syntax of this formula?
Oh, not extract. You can see the syntax if you want.
Yes.
So if you go to this fx insert function, let's say if I
Uh-huh.
wanted to insert a function over here. So you go to insert function and see, select the category, pick user defined. And
Okay.
in user defined, whatever functions you have created, those will show up. And once you click on OK, now it is giving you lookup value, table array, column index number, all this thing is coming here.
Okay.
All right. So you can look at the arguments of your function through the insert function.
Okay.
That is why it is also important to define the argument list also properly. It should not be very vague way of writing X, Y, Z and you're done defining. Because all these places you will find the problem that if you don't define variables as per the utility, you can't understand what they are meant for. All right. Any other questions? Nope. Why so many workbooks are open? No, all good. So that's it
Yeah.
about functions. There's nothing much. This is the function. So that's why I took functions a little later than sub, because then if you think about it, the only thing that changed was sub function, the name of the function and end function. whatever we wrote over here is coming from our understanding of your previous subs also that we have written. If I'll tell you, if my function doesn't work, typically I pick up the codes, put it inside a sub, and then sit and debug, because it's not possible to debug over here. So it becomes easier when you put it as a function, and step by step you are seeing that what is happening, where is the flow going, why is it not working, and then you plug it back after fixing inside a function again. So all these things are repetitive. Only thing is the names are changing. Is it, if it's called sub or is it called a function? Done? Any questions? And these functions that you create, you can actually use it in the sense that just like how you had your functions of Excel, where you could copy paste, same functionality is there in these functions as well. So I could say equal to jumbo lookup value is this, comma, table array is this, comma, what is it? Column index number is this one, and fix it, close the bracket. I'll get one, and I can fix the table array and copy paste for the rest. Just like how you worked in Excel, you put $sign and all. Once you created a function, you can simply copy paste it. So same functionalities here.
Okay, great.
All right. Okay. So time for assessment now.
Yeah.
Let me explain what the question is. I was creating question number 2. I'll not do that now. One question, not very tough. If you develop the logic, and I've been telling you again and again, any kind of programming background you come from, unless you don't try to visualize it, unless you don't put it in some algorithm, you will not be able to crack this issue. Okay, so please make sure you write algorithm, you understand by scribbling that, okay, what will be the steps. So I want you to write a program to highlight the lowest number in each project. Simple example, let's say there's a project A, then the lowest is 38.99. So either how to color it, or if you want to make it bold, make it bold. Okay, for color, if you want, I can give you the syntax for putting a color, or you can record a macro and understand what will be the color code. So this is done for A, it has to be repeated for all the projects. For all the projects, you have to highlight the minimum value in each row. Not very tough, right?
So Ishani, do you want us to make it a input box program, or it
There
should
is
be
no
highlighted
input
for
box. It should not be input box. When you run your code, all the rows, the minimum value should be highlighted.
Ishani, rows
Can you
and
give
column are
Rows.
fixed. I mean, rows and columns are fixed. No, nothing going to be changed. Or, just asking if we want to,
Okay, let's make it fixed, but ideally in VBA it should not be fixed.
fix. Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
It should not, ideally it should not never be fixed. Okay, how am I going to share it with you? Eklavya, are you there?
Shani, can you give that syntax also if possible?
The
The
color?
color?
one?
Yeah.
I will. Even I will have to see. I don't remember formatting syntax at all.
So Ishani, only for one assessment for today.
Yes.
You want-
One question, one
You want
question
more?
only.
Yes.
One question. See how generous I've become. Initially, I was
Thanks.
initially what I was doing, why the question number 2 was there, I was going to give a choice, do this or this. But then I did
Okay.
not have time, unfortunately, to work on it. And hence only one question. This is good, right? This is not a tough question.
Yeah, that's good.
That's
Let's
good.
see how we perform.
Logical thought process, make sure that you're thinking in Excel and then working.
Okay.
So I'm putting over here. Eklave said yes or no. Submission time, all that I'll mention. Eklave, are you there? Oh, he's not there, I think, today. I'll send it to him on WhatsApp also so that it can be sent to you in WhatsApp as well.
So Shani, you are good with both the ways, right? Either coloring the cell or bold.
Or making it bold,
Yeah,
either way.
all
Yes,
right.
any way that it gets a distinction from the other cells.
Okay.
So submit the Excel file with the data and quotes in macro enabled format. Name the file your name. Number 3, send it to Genpack at Ivy Pro School. Simple. And half an hour.
So where you have saved that assessment? Oh, sorry.
This is the, it is in the assessment folder in the assessment session
Just a
section,
minute.
and I am making it enabled for downloading also. So just now.
Let me see where assessment file. Okay.
Okay. Let me stop sharing and I can send it to stop sharing. Let me send it to Vinay, and Vinay, if you could just send it in the WhatsApp group, just in case
Sure.
people do not have access.
Sure.
Internet is okay. Sent. So I'm here if you need to understand something, and I'll send you the code for the coloring part as well. But make sure it's not a completely, like, don't have the habit of recording and only doing it. Only parts of it I encourage you to record, not the entire thing should be recorded.
Ishani? Ishani, are you there?
Yes, yes, I'm there.
I was asking that this numbers all are in dollar sign, so they all will be a string. So
No,
how
no,
would
they're numbers.
numbers?
See,
Now?
if you click on the, if you can see my screen, if you click on it, in the formula bar is just a number. So these are all numbers only.
Okay, okay, fine.
So
That's
any
fine.
kind of aggregation function you would want to apply on it, you can.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
And remember one more thing, everyone, please don't go to the typical programming route. Try to think that we have Excel functions already in place for a lot of things. So try to use the functions that you know of to make your work faster and easier. Twenty more minutes.